Hello everybody. Lovely Mikey gave me this church. Old Sheldon Church in South Carolina. It's had pillars at the front. It's lost its roof. It's just a carcass now. And I don't know, it's not the biggest place. It's supposed to be a church. Oh, I found that on my rounds. Everybody's seen that one, but I just put that in. And look at this one here. That one. That's amazing, that one. And that one there, derelict in England, same sort of thing, has no roof on it. Just like this place. Seemed to take the roofs off. I showed Koya in Turkey. It was a Greek ghost town. The same thing, didn't have any of the roofs, just the carcass of the building, but no roofs. Yeah, it's quite a amazing little church. Got a few stones there, you know, tombstones. They have little ceremonies there. Funny little altar thing in there. It looks like a fireplace, to be honest. I thought, is that a fireplace? Anyway, that's where they stand to do the whatever they're going to do, and obviously meet there sometimes. Looks bigger inside than it did. Doesn't it? It looks a bit bigger, but sometimes cameras do that kind of thing, don't they? Yeah, this is in South Carolina. Robert! Get Robert to go there. That's where he lives. Yeah, it looks amazing. It's got pillars all around it. There's the little tombstones. But there's obviously some other reason it happened to be empty. They said, what they said was that the people took the roof and that, you know, what it is it was a fire or something. There's always a fire, isn't there? And then the people there took parts of it to build their own houses, but I don't believe that's true because there's so many other buildings like this without any roofs. Maybe in the end the people took the stuff, but they didn't, you know, take it. Why is the building still standing if they took all the other bits? Why not take the other bits then, the bricks and that? That's what I think. But anyway, yeah, maybe it's from the old order, not the new order. Anyway, that's what it's supposed to look like. Doesn't really look that old, does it, when you see it like that? You don't think, oh, that's 200-300 years old. So anyway, it's another person's drawing of the inside. Yeah, we're just looking at a few pictures. It's quite a nice place to go and visit if you live there. And there's the tombstones, I think. Probably in this bit where names got changed, and this was somewhere close to somewhere that's not there anymore, and it just got left. And yeah, in some of the trees there's bricks. Yeah, I mean, it's news to me. I've never seen trees with bricks in, but I'm going to read you something in a minute. Some nice trees and bricked in trees. Another one. Yeah, this person says, they're obviously explaining that the tree is to stop damage, and then a person says, yes, I've seen plenty of trees, mostly oaks, with an old hole from missing limbs or trunks that were filled in with bricks or simply with concrete. Keeps water and critters out of the holes and therefore stops rot and stuff coming in. And then underneath it with these pictures, I thought that was quite crazy, some of those, like how the tree is engulfed whatever it's around. I think that one's a beer crusher or something. Yeah, a can crusher. They don't seem to mind metal poles. They grow through that. And that's a playground. I mean, what are you going to do then? You'd have to knock the tree down. There it is. There's a sign or something in there. That one's taken the fence. And another sign. It's amazing, isn't it? The tree just engulfs them. Doesn't grow round it, just engulfs it. There's a car in there. Look at that one. Anyway, let's look up a little bit of the history. They are saying here that in 1757 was its first service. So this was a very old building. Shame, isn't it, that they wouldn't want to preserve that building then? I feel that these churches, or whatever they are, they've been taken out for other reasons. But yeah, so there you go. It says 1757. Old church ruins, historic site located northern boundary, Beaufort County, South Carolina it is. The tradition outstanding is that the Prince William was burned by the official South Carolina report on the destruction of church. What's that? Oh right, okay. Was burned by destruction of churches, and its massive walls survive the last as they did the former. I've seen a lot of buildings like this. As I said, I've done a few now. All the roofs are off, even in England. There you go. There is one in England that has its sides but not its roof. They're all over the place. Yeah, it's been derelict for quite a long time, I think, that one. Like that one, because they're empty. There's no rubble or anything. There's a little bit more information. 1757. And obviously people sit in it now, don't they? Because we saw pictures with people sitting in it. And then it tells you a bit there about things. You can stop and read that, but of course that'll never probably add up. But it's very sad that this little building's gone. Very sweet little church in nice little grounds. Yes, a little bit more information there. I didn't open the recorder up wide enough to do the whole thing, but yeah, I don't believe any of their stuff because I told you, even on, I put it on a hangout yesterday, we did Texana. So what it could have meant was that this church was actually linked to another town which isn't there anymore, and a lot of people don't know today because many Americans don't even know that only a bit ago all the towns were changed. Even, like I said, finding out about well, I feel like I've made another video now and added it, but you know, in the last few days we've looked at Bannerman Castle. It was magnificent. Even only a short while ago, through even a video which they made, one of those stupid Crime Watch Daily things near it, was there a lot more castle, and there isn't now. And we've done Texana. Texana was there, it isn't there, it's under a reservoir, and many towns in the 1800s, late 1800s, got their names changed. And this was me starting to go through the list, but it actually took me 15 minutes roughly, because I just thought, well, it can't be that long, and I was talking away and I thought, when's this going to end? I'm going to keep talking, and I think, oh my god, we're only at sea. So many names. Anyway, and then in the last day or so, me and Amy did that one. This one was me and Gillian. We were looking up, because she'd watched a video wanting to understand what the First and Second Reich were before the Third Reich, which obviously was Nazi land. And what became really apparent was that somewhere this history overlaps, but they've separated it out, so it's almost impossible, even though they're telling you things. Because when we wanted to look up what the Holy Roman Empire was, we thought everything would direct to Rome, and it didn't. No matter, you know, like we actually did the hangout where we're investigating, so it takes a little while for us to catch up into the fact that, oh, you're not being directed to Rome, you're being directed to Germany, and it's only Germany. And so the Holy Roman Empire was Germany, not the Italians. The Italians were part of their Holy Roman Empire. Can you believe that? I'm just like, so do you understand, with buildings without roofs on, you know, something else has been probably happening here, because they're not even telling us the truth about this. Me and Gillian were a bit like, holy moly. You know, the way they painted him, Napoleon, like, he still could be a book and not real and part of the game. But he could be actually the goodie. And that's maybe why he thought he could be emperor. But anyway, it's probably all just a story. But when you're looking this up, do you see what I mean? Like here, do you see? Not all of Italy is included in there. Only half of Italy. This part of Italy was not included in the Holy Roman Empire. And actually, it was Germany with them. And at other times, there was other countries. It was bigger. And by the Second World War, it got like enormous. It like conquered. But anyway, that is the same as the Holy Roman Empire. There you go. Look, here was the Holy Roman Empire, the First Reich. Yes. It all leads to Germany. Not Italy. When you start actually delving into things, you start realising they're not talking about Italy being the Holy Roman Empire. It's Germany that is. And Italy's a part of half of it's been captured in this. But only half of it. To just past Rome. So that bit is included in it, but I was just like, when have we ever learned that the Holy Roman Empire is Germany? It's just getting crazy. So you can understand what I mean when I'm talking about the roofs. It's never what they say. A fire. Yeah, on Bannerman Island, supposed to be a fire. But you would never ever tell. It just looks like they've been dismantling it because it looks like Avalon. Where is it? Let's look at it. Look at this. Don't you think that looks like it could have been an Avalon? I mean, this place was beautiful. And now there's hardly any of it left. So sad, isn't it? And so most Americans don't even know they've got castles. Do you see what I mean? They're just destroying it all under our noses. And guess what? They took the roof off this one as well. This one, yeah, set afire again and has no roof. Do you see? They've all got this thing about no roofs. Most bizarre. You could say it's an earthquake, it's this, it's a fire or an earthquake. That's what that's the answers. But I don't think so. Anyway, let's continue with the video. And when I did Texas, it took me 15 minutes to go through all the towns where they changed the names. We've learnt that in Maryland there was a Rome. So something big changed in the 1800s, about the time that this place was supposedly caught fire, whatever they want to say. It's not the biggest building. But anyway, Mikey, thank you very much for bringing this to our attention with all those pillars again. Thank you very much. Our next stop is the Statue of Liberty. I'm quite interested, and we're going to talk a little bit more later on about that fort, which isn't there anymore. Now, they're saying, when I was looking it up, that thing was put up in the 1800s with this crane, and it looks so easy. But in reality, the base of that thing is enormous. It's enormous. It's as big as it, with the brick wall that's a star fort. And then that base is as big as the statue on top. And yeah, there you go. That's what they're saying that they used to make it in the 1800s. I never saw the crane before, and now I found a few pictures with the crane and a few more pictures with the star fort underneath, which is quite great because, you know, when I was doing it before, I really struggled to find the Empire State Building with a star fort on it. I mean, in some senses, it doesn't... Oh, I don't know. Yeah, there you go. Doesn't quite look so big, does it, there? And everybody knows it's enormous because you can see people down here or something. There's people here. So it's not as big as it actually is, but it's enormous. Oh, I don't know. But the fort isn't there anymore, so we're going to look up a little bit about the fort. Yeah. And she doesn't particularly look that feminine either, the statue. I don't know why they say it's a woman. I wonder what it means with this fort behind like that, because that is some kind of star fort thing anyway, isn't it? They look like houses, but it's obviously some barracks or something. I'm going to look it up in a minute. Be an armoury, because everything's an armoury when it comes to here. I think in one of the pictures it said when it was being built there. We've already just gone past that. There you go, high resolution picture. And it had these 2 jetties on there. I think it looks smaller today, somehow. Maybe the buildings made it look bigger. Yes, nice little star fort. We like our star forts, don't we? Linking that one in with Stonehenge there. Suppose it's better without the building. Oh look, that's quite a nice. Let's go back to that picture a minute. This shape, look there, look at that. With star fort, see? Shape. Anyway, they show this as well, see, because it's all sort of, well, that's the remains. So what we're going to do is, oh, there's that shape again. See, it's quite a nice shape. I'm going to go over to look up the fort now, and there you go. It talks a bit about it. It says that basically someone who it was named after this person, Colonel Darby, or E. Darby Wood, who was killed in the siege of Fort whatever that is in 1813. The granite fortification followed an 11-pointed star fort layout with mounting 24 guns, and by the time the island was chosen for the Statue of Liberty, the fort was disused and its walls were used as the base for the structure. Statue, same thing really, structure, statue. 11-pointed star. By the time the island was chosen, the fort was disused. It was built in the late 1800s, so they say. And there you go, you can read the rest of it. That bit there, that bit of information. If you want, just stop the video and read that. Yes, let's look at this one with those dates. At the time of its dedication in 1886, President Grover Cleveland placed the Statue of Liberty under the administration of the US Lighthouse Board, since it was categorized as a federal lighthouse. Federal lighthouse. Although the statue torch, it was a lighthouse. It was categorized as a federal lighthouse. Although the statue's torch had been electrified for use as a lighthouse in 1886, the statue had not been designed for this purpose and was not very effective. In 1901, the statue was transferred to the US Department of War. Right. I thought it was empty. I thought that's why they built the statue on here, was because they were disused and weren't used anymore. Anyway. Oh, it's talking a bit more about it actually. They decided to redesign it so that the island's landscape complemented by the Statue of Liberty. This was the first time that the statue on Bedloe's Island would be pulled together into a unified design. Really? I think what they're saying is when you originally got there, the whole thing had all these army buildings on. So what they did was they got rid of them, turned it to green. Now it's a monument. So that's what they mean by that, I think. And obviously a bit more there. You can stop and have a look at that if you want. It's not really telling me what I want. I want to know a bit more about that fort, if anything. Wow, so it says basically the Statue of Liberty was part of Fort Wood harbour's defence system of the War of 1812. The forts of modern-day Liberty Island and Ellis Island successfully prevented New York from falling to the British during the war in 1812. Aha. We're just looking up. Oh, they're driving the dog mad now in the other room. The 11-pointed star structure that now is part of the base of the Statue of Liberty was actually built as a fort. It was completed in 1811, just in time for the War of 1812, even when Bedloe's Island became home to the statue in 1886. The name didn't change. Then was Fort Wood and statue. Let's look at that one. It was a granite star fort selected as the base, where the statue was erected in the centre. Got that date of 1886. What is the island? What? Oh well, we can leave the rest. Anyway, it doesn't really want to budge from that time, does it? There is a few places where you can find about this fort, but I mean it's not pages and pages of it. It's just a few articles. And there's a bit more there. It's got slightly different dates. 1807. It's all a little bit different there. All a little bit different. But it always is. Anyway. I mean, in one sense, it does look better without the buildings. But you can see how big the statue is. And how big that building is here, can't you? Yes, it's big head. I don't know. I'm not quite. Anyway, let's just go to the building. You saw the building. I'm going to find two pictures. I've got to do it this way. I'm just not sure. Okay, you can even see people. You can see how big the statue is to the island. How big it really is, can't you now? Yeah, it takes up about getting on for half the island, right? So, do you get my drift that, I don't know, look at all those buildings on there. And they're not small. I don't know, I'm a bit confused that they got those many buildings on there. Do you understand what I'm talking about? I'm not saying it didn't happen and they weren't there, but, you know, that statue is getting on for half the island, but look how many buildings are there. Yes. And actually, they were mostly there, all that was derelict. You know, like the army had gone. So look what the buildings were there in the 1800s, early 1800s. These are early 1800s when this was built. And then slowly basic. I mean, look at the size. I just don't know. Are these correct, or is this all made up and been put in? Don't know, because this says it was a torch. I mean, a lighthouse at some point. So that's really crazy, isn't it? Do you get my drift? Anyway, we're going to finish looking at this now, because obviously I've done quite a few minutes on this one. It's always intrigued me, this. Yeah. Thanks very much.